I want to talk about a Goliath in the logistics space globally, not just the United States, and that's UPS. And UPS years back bought a concept that's now called UPS Store. So we're going to go through the franchise cost of UPS Store, how much they make, what the estimated payback period is, everything you need to know if it's worth further assessing and talking to the franchisor, as well as talking to franchisees or reaching out to that business broker that's selling an existing UPS store for his client. So they dominate the US logistics industry. You also have big players like FedEx. They're really in the last mile delivery where the courier brings a customer their order. They also operate one of the largest airlines and one of the largest fleets of alternative fuel vehicles under the global UPS brand, delivering packages each business day for approximately 1.7 million shipping customers to 11.8 delivery customers in over 200 countries and territories around the world. The UPS store, the franchisor requires franchisees to have between $75,000 and $125,000 of liquid assets. The initial franchise fee, if you want to get started with a UPS store, is going to set you back $30,000. You pay this fee up front before opening up the UPS store. However, the good news is it reduces if you're opening up multiple locations. It goes down to $20,000. The estimated total investment necessary to begin the operation of a UPS store franchise ranges from $240,000 up to $508,000. So now going a little bit back in time, UPS started off as mailboxes, etc. in 1980. So they've been around for over 40 years. It functioned as an alternative service to the US Post Office. Big surprise. People were upset with government bureaucracy. Mailbox, etc. filled that void. And later on, UPS, the publicly traded company, bought Mailbox, etc., and rebranded it as UPS Store. A little bit about the ongoing fees. So marketing fee, UPS collects a marketing fee, goes to public relations, research and development, testing, pilot programs to promote sales, to increase your revenue as a franchisee. You also have to purchase hardware, pay for continued services, buy hardware when it's outdated. So POS system, back office machines. There's a lot of hardware as well as software that you're going to have to be paying on a recurring basis, and also have one-off major expenses after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. They do maintain and promote your website, which draws a lot of traffic to the UPS stores. So for all the centers in the UPS system, with the two different types of models that they have. So on the 4,678 UPS stores that reported their sales, the average gross sales was $677,000. Year over year, they've had 10% growth in average unit volume. So they actually did pretty well throughout the pandemic from 2020 to 2021. It's hard to estimate how much money a single UPS store makes. Really depends on the location, demographics, if the owner's involved, if they're not involved. I talked to a former franchisee that thought it was going to be more of a passive investment. He lived 2 hours from the location, ended up spending a lot of time in the store, 20, 30 hours a week, where the expectation was more like 5 hours, 10 hours a week with a general manager. So definitely be sure to talk to current franchisees, former franchisees of UPS store. But say if you're working full-time in the business, you're making a 20% profit margin and you're clearing $120,000. If you invested $200K, $250K, $300K, that sounds pretty attractive. But if it's on the higher end of the investment amount, $500,000, it could take you a while to recoup your capital investment. When you go to sell a UPS store based on the median multiple of about 0.5 times net sales, it would sell for about $268,000, which is significantly lower than that midpoint investment of $374,000. So you would sell at a loss based on the data that we have today of $100,000. Keep in mind, if you open up multiple UPS stores, so if you have 3-4 UPS stores, there's a much higher likelihood for you to make money when you sell the business, as the multiple goes up when you sell the business to other franchisees or a new franchisee of UPS store. Positive news on the company, the franchisor, parent company rather, UPS is very profitable, net income of $12 billion in 2021. This is 3 times the net income in 2019. They did get a lot of criticism for just making a ton of money throughout the pandemic and charging high rates for deliveries. But from the franchisee's perspective, this is positive. You want to have a franchisor supporting you that's doing well financially. They're adding about 80, 90 units per year over the last few years. Some closures, but pretty minimal. Very low loan default rate, one of the least for franchises over the 3,000 plus franchises that we have data on for the loan default rate. UPS Store performs incredibly well. One of the best top 5 franchises in terms of lowest loan default rate. And some red flags, the transfer and franchise for sale rates a little high for UPS stores. 356 stores changed hands in 2021. Representing about 7% of the total franchise locations. So that's something to look at. Basically, one UPS store is sold per day or reacquired by the franchisor, or they close shop. So talk to existing franchisees, but also talk to some former franchisees before you decide to open up your own UPS store or buy an existing UPS store for sale. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Let us know if there's any other business you'd like us to review. Shoot me an email at patrick@vettedbiz.com. Thanks.